Good afternoon, grown folks. Listen, I want to talk to you today about transparency. Transparency, I should have had the official definition, but for me, my understanding of transparency is sharing what may not have necessarily been asked. The world we live in today, unfortunately, doesn't like to share outside of what's been asked. And so I'm going to unpack that today. Because I am a very transparent individual. Very. So much so that I overshare. I don't want to leave you wondering in the work capacity, in my personal life, whatever. I'm pretty much an open book. I can crack jokes about myself. I share that, you could see my glasses are pretty thick. I am a candidate for a cornea transplant. It is what it is, right? That's my life. You like it or love it, or don't deal with it at all, right? And I help my friends and those close to me by sharing what may not be shared by others but needs to be said, right? So I'm that person, I'm that friend to say, come on, girl, you better than that. We got this. We gonna do this together. You want to pray and fast? Like when we turn down my plate, what we doing, right? Whereas some people might say, that's being judgmental if you tell someone they're better than that. I think that's a new age way of thinking. I tend to talk a lot, so much so that one of my good friends, years ago, she called me Chatty Patty. No, she called me Tammy Talk a Lot. I call myself Chatty Patty, but she called me Tammy. She to this day, she calls me Tammy. If we out in public, somebody see us and hear her call me Tammy, they will swear that is my name, and it's not. My name is Tish. But I don't know where that started. I do remember a part of my life where I wasn't okay with who I was, and I also wasn't transparent during that time, right? I was honest. I've always been honest, sometimes brutally honest, and that comes from how I was raised. My parents held no punches. They were saying the wildest stuff out loud. Like you could hear their thoughts because they shared them, right? And so at this seasoned age in my life, I try to be more self-aware and knowing my audience. And so I recall just recently, I text who I call my brother, and he's my brother by another mother. But we had a conversation, and we started talking about what's going on in this country, and I couldn't help myself. I was going in, and he was like, that's such and such on the other line. Let me go. And it registered to me that, girl, you was probably doing the most. You were probably saying too much. But that's okay, right? And that's exactly what he said. He was like, it's okay, sis. We are who we are. For sure. Just knowing my audience, but being self-aware to know you want to be transparent or be yourself, be authentic. That's the word I'm looking for. You want to be your authentic self, and that means being self-aware as well, right? Knowing your audience is most important, because if you're just the only one sharing and everyone else is quiet, then you're probably not in good company, right? I think transparent people can tend to irritate those who are not transparent because it makes them like, why is she sharing so much? Like I'm like, And here's the thing, I'm a very private person. So get into that. I'm a private person, but I share openly. as a way to welcome people, as a way to let people know that despite what you may see or think or hear, I'm not pretentious in any way. And I am a very down to earth person. I can relate to anyone on any level. And I used to say I shoot dice. I sit at the boardroom with the best of them, and I shoot dice with the rest of them, right? And that was like years ago, of course. But the point is that there's no group of people that I can't relate to. And in my profession, that is kind of a requirement, but it's also who I am as a person. And I am learning, though, that everyone doesn't deserve my voice. Some places and spaces deserve my silence. And that comes with maturity. It comes with assessing life, right? There's something I learned in therapy about the pursuer versus the withdrawer. I am definitely a pursuer. Not a pursuer in the terms of like pursuing a relationship or whatever, because I totally believe that a wife was found, and I was found. I was kind of a damsel in distress, honestly, when my husband found me. I had just finished crying, but lost track. I just went back to that place where my husband found me. But I am a pursuer. I'm a pursuer in conversation. I am a pursuer in a room. If I walk into a room and I'll introduce myself, say hello to everyone. In my current years, I struggle to see. Sometimes I'm in a room, and if the room is too bright, I can't see faces. So I'll share that. Like, forgive me if, if someone's in the room that I know and I'm not embracing like with the love I use. Like, normal people would be like, hey, hello, just a generic hello. But your people, you'd be like, girl, what's up? You're going to give them a hug or whatever. So I kind of name that in the room, because someone can say, darn, she came in the room and she didn't even speak to me. Like, that's my girl, but she didn't speak, because I can't see. And everybody doesn't know the extent to which I can't see. And so literally in bright spaces and bright rooms, I don't see faces. I just see like the shape of your body. And it's a horrible place to be. I promise you. It took me some time to be able to talk about it, but it is my life right now. I'm a candidate for a cornea transplant. I am not gung-ho about getting it. The surgeon told me, I said, how many of these have you done? He was like, tens of thousands. Okay. He said, but with your condition, about a handful. Not good enough, homeboy. And then I was told that it wouldn't make my vision better, but it would help with that glare of light. So remember, I said bright lights is problematic for me. Like overhead lights, really, really problematic. I prefer like a dimly lit room, but I love getting my sunshine, right? And so, but it becomes a little challenging. But I said that to say that I pursue conversations. I will go out there on a limb and say, hey, how's everybody doing? And did y'all hear about what's going on with such and such? Like, I will do that. And I'm learning that, again, it makes people uncomfortable sometimes. But those are just not my people. And that's okay. I'm not going to totally contort to change who I am. I am, however, required to be self-aware and read the room. So if the room is asking a question and not sticking around for the answer, they really don't want to hear from me, right? And so you have to take from that what you need to take from that. They're just there. Close your pie hole. You don't have to pretend to engage with me. I just had the most fabulous medical visit. Bedside manner on point. Hey, would you like to use the restroom before your study? This is what's going to happen. This is how it's going to be. This is what I'll need from you. This is what you'll get from me. It was bars, by the way. It just flowed smoothly. I understood what I was into. It was a pleasant environment. She even put towels on my feet so my feet wouldn't get cold. Okay, like, baby. Like, and so I definitely want to do a review for her, and I shared with her that bedside manner is kind of a lost art with some people, and she's like, yeah, I often wonder how people enter the medical field when they don't seem to like it. She said, I just give people what I like to get. And so that's what I like to get. I give people transparency because I desire transparency. I don't want to have to ask a million questions to get to the truth. I don't want to feel that I'm being intrusive with just inquiring about what's going on with you, right? When I ask how you're doing, I want to know, right? I am a prayer warrior, so I take things to God in prayer. And so I will ask what's going on, and if I know you, I'm like, you don't sound like that's what's really going on, and then behind that, I'll get the truth. But to some people, even that line of questioning appears intrusive. And please forgive my enunciation. I wear Invisalign, and sometimes it feels a little more difficult to enunciate. So if I sound a little slurry or funny, promise, haven't been drinking. But yeah, I can think of some friends that I'll say, hey, how you doing? I'm okay. No, you're not. What's wrong? What's going on? I do that because that's what I desire. I desire for someone to genuinely care about me. I had a friend in college that this guy was like, oh, I really, really like your friend. And I was like, all right. And he was like, but there's just one problem. I said, what's the problem? He said, when I ask her how she's doing, she literally explains how she's doing, and I don't be wanting all that. What do you mean? Like, she'll say, like, my grandmama died, my back hurt, and my big toe just fell off. Like, she'll just go down the whole list. That's not what he said. I'm just exaggerating. But he said she actually names basically what was wrong with her. And I thought that was the purpose. But for some people, it's just a very generic, hey, how you doing? They really don't want to know. So you got to know your people. Do they really want to know how you're doing? Do they really care? Do they ask the follow-up questions like, hey, you don't sound okay. You sure you're okay? Well, you don't look okay. You sure you're okay? So don't change who you are, and don't you stop being transparent because you may associate with avoidance. Avoidance are people that avoid dialogue and conversation or conflict at all costs. They would much rather sit in a corner and not talk to anyone. One thing I don't know clinically if an avoidant is traditionally an introvert. And I'm going to venture to say no, because I think I know an avoidant that is an extrovert. And so to that end, air is airing. Sorry if the sound was kind of overpowering, but it's hot and I'm in a car, so we had to have air. But I could make an introvert very uncomfortable because I am so extroverted, but I'm extroverted and transparent. So it's like, hey, this is what it is. This is me. This is me. Like, I need my hair done. This is me. Grab hubby's hat because I don't have a purple polo. I haven't worn hats like I used to back in the day. But listen, I had a purple dress that I need to throw on real quick. And now I need my hair done, but it's too hot for that. Silk presses in this weather is a waste of money. So my car is going through the changes with this heat. It sounds like, hey, girl. She purring like, The moral of the story, if you are transparent, cheers to you. The world needs more transparency, in my humble opinion. I think we just live in places and spaces where people just scrutinize so much that that others want to hold things so close to their chest for fear of scrutiny. Everything is recorded and photographed, and it's just a whole lot of. But let me tell you one thing. Just because someone posts something on social media does not mean that they're being transparent about what's really going on with them. Because a person could be crying inside and posting, "Hey, I'm living my best life. I'm catching flights, not feelings," and they come up with all the slogans, honey. When in reality, they are dying inside. So embrace who you are. Whether you're transparent, whether you're avoidant. If you're avoidant, I say embrace who you are, but work on yourself, right? Be self-aware, regulate that, because there are times and spaces that are going to require you to confront an issue. And confronting an issue does not mean that you need to be confrontational. But some things need to be talked about. If someone stepped on your toes, you need to tell them that they stepped on your toes. You need to say, ouch, hey, this bothered me. When you said XYZ, it bothered me. Can you not do that again? Or it made me feel a certain way. You have to name that sometimes. People are not mind readers. And avoidants tend to hold things in and let them fester. And when they do finally say something, it does not come out nice at all. At all. It comes out wrong. So don't let things fester. It's okay to share and understand this. In marriage, particularly, the absence of transparency is an actual breach, or it feels like a breach or a disconnect. So if you're not connected because you sense that there's not a lack of transparency, but you're transparent, that is not fertile ground to grow and nurture your marriage. Just a little food for thought. Been with my husband 25 years together, 25 together, and just under 22 married. It's amazing to say that, because I remember being single. Like, I'm tired of this, but I'll tell you that story another day. Thanks for rocking with me. Please share, please comment, let me know your thoughts. Are you a conflict avoidant? Are you a transparent person? Do you like to just address things wide open? Like, just let's get into it. If somebody wants to sit down and talk to me about what they feel or how I affected them or offended them, I welcome that with open arms. Give me an opportunity to tell you, I apologize. Don't just let me say something or do something that offends you and you never say a mumbling word. No, your feelings matter to me. If you're in my place or space, your feelings matter to me. I want to know if I offended you, because that's not my heart. My heart is not out here trying to go around and snake oil people and be shady. And that's not who I am. If I offend you, come tell me. Find it in your beautiful heart to be transparent enough to say, hey, I'd like to talk to you about something. What you said the other day, what you did, or your response to, say it. It will only make things better. And I promise you, you will feel so much lighter coming out of it. Coming out of the conversation, you will feel so much lighter instead of walking around holding on, wondering what an intent was behind something that may have offended you. It could have been just my mind gone on something else, not present, not intending to offend, not reading the room properly, because we all have the tendency to do that from time to time. Okay? So, listen, y'all, let's try to finish this year out with making stronger connections with people. We need to make stronger connections, and those connections come by way of transparency. The connections come by way of using your words. Even teach your children. I taught my child this early in life. There is no, what's wrong? Her friends, they couldn't come over my house and be crying or sad or whatever. Okay, well, we're going to take you home. If you don't want to tell Miss Tish what's wrong, then we're going to have to take you home, because I don't tolerate that kind of behavior. I don't know how to maneuver with that. Like, no, we need you to use your words, because it could be something really wrong, and I need to address it. I can't protect you or anything if you just you're crying, but you're shrugging your shoulders and won't tell me what's wrong. You probably should be with your mom or dad, because Miss Tish needs you to use your words. And I was able to get the children to use their words. Like, come on, Miss Tish needs to know so she can help you. Well, I want that. Well, that's not yours to have. So you have to pull yourself together. Don't be upset about that. This is what you can have, though. You can't have that, but you can have this, right? Whatever the situation is, there's a pivot to be had. It's okay. It's okay. So try it for a day. Try it for a week. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. I know this for sure. If you are in total comfort, you're probably not excelling, right? So I wasn't always transparent, but I am now, because I pushed through that fear of what people would think of me. What would they think? What if they... I don't care. If it doesn't pay my mortgage, if it doesn't help with college, if it doesn't edify my life, I don't care. Those that were closest to me have gone to glory. The remaining folks, we do or we don't. However, I'm not going to put a whole lot of time into I need to change who God made me to be to appease the world. Culture, social media scrolling will have you believe that there's something wrong with you, and that being transparent or talking or sharing too much is a problem. Our young folks, they have a problem communicating. They will be in a room full of people and they're all sitting there looking at their phones because they're afraid to push through. They don't want to seem like the person that's doing the most. And some of them have trauma from when they were younger, when that thing happened that altered their trajectory, when they were open, when they were blossoming and they didn't have any fear. The moment that the fear set in can taunt them traumatically to keep them from embracing a room full of people and really enjoying one another, getting to know one another. When they speak, they don't even speak with confidence. What's your name? My name is Tish. No, my name is Tish B. What's up? I'm happy to be here. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I'm a child of God. Like, say it with your chest. Okay, I can go on forever with this topic because I told y'all I am Tammy Talk a Lot. So may God bless and keep you. May heaven smile upon you. Please share in the comments what your thoughts are on transparency versus being more reserved and only answering questions when asked. Peace, y'all. Talk to y'all later. Be kind to one another. You may never know what someone else is going through. Peace. Create a wonderful day.